What is up, everybody? It is Megan with Project Freya, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, sorry, heads up, I'm a little bit sleepy today, but we're gonna make this happen anyway. So, for those of you who know me at all and have been keeping up, this past weekend I went to Disney World and Harry Potter in Universal Studios in Orlando, and we met up with a bunch of our friends from online. It was I don't even have words for how amazing it was. I do have a big stream related update for you at the end of the video. I will leave the little time codes down here for you if you'd like to just skip to that information. But if you'd like to know how my trip was, just stick around. I knew we were meeting up with two couples that Todd and I are friends with online. One of those being the amazing Kayla la 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 and her husband Blake. And another one of our friends from our WoW guild. I knew we were meeting them at the airport, and I was actually pleasantly surprised when we landed and we all met up. And what I thought we were going to get into an Uber, we were actually met by another one of my friends, EXO. And it's like as if the whole thing wasn't like a big enough event and surprise. Like the surprises just kept coming. I was just so overjoyed, and it's always, I don't know, something about meeting people that like have been your friends for so long and like solidifying that friendship in person. I'm not the best at explaining things, but it was really like awesome to be there. And we went to his house and he made pancakes and we played Cards Against Humanity for a while. I forgot how funny and terrible at the same time that game can be. After that, we went to Disney Springs. Me, Blake, Kayla, and Todd, we went to Disney Springs, which is the little free area. It's not little, I shouldn't say little. It's a big like shopping area. It's not inside of Disney World, but it is Disney like owned, I guess. And it's got like World of Disney, the big shop and stuff. So we shopped around. I got to try my very first Dole Whip, which was the watermelon. It came in this like really cute little parfait design. It was very good. The store was huge and overwhelming, and I just wanted everything that I saw, but I don't think we actually got anything that day. After that, we went, back to our hotel and just kind of chilled because it was exhausting. We had to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to get ready for our flight that morning, so we were all pretty tired. The boys checked out the arcade, and so that was our first night in Florida. But then the next morning was Magic Kingdom. I can't even begin to explain how perfect it was. Like, I've wanted to go for as long as I've known it has existed, and different people have said different things about it, like, you're not a kid anymore, you're not going to enjoy it anymore, like there's no point until you have children, don't waste your money, blah blah blah. That was all nonsense. That was the most magical place on earth, absolutely 100%. I did a little bit of a stream when I first walked into the Disney park area. It was raining on and off for most of the day, which we didn't really mind. It kept things cool. The only real downside to that was our shoes got wet, and that didn't feel great on the feet. I can't explain how magical that castle is. I mean, if you've been, you understand, but it was just like, you picture something in your head and you see pictures of it online, for so long, but seeing it in person, it was more incredible than I ever thought it would be. The people, like the cast members, they really just add that sprinkle of magic to it. They're so friendly and helpful, and I went on a bunch of the rides. I think the only thing we didn't do was the Seven Dwarfs one and the Water Plume ride, and then like some of like the little kid rides in the little kid area. Like the wait times weren't crazy or anything. We went to the Be Our Guest restaurant for dinner, which, if you don't know what that is, it is the castle from Beauty and the Beast, the Beast's castle. It's separated into 3 separate areas: the grand ballroom where the dance happens, the Beast's wing, which is kind of like tattered and torn with the rose in it, and then there was the area, Belle's favorite room. It was just a bunch of like artwork from the movie and this music box in the middle. That was amazing. The food was really good. We did end up kind of like running out on dessert so we could catch some of the fireworks. So I kind of got to see the Happily Ever After fireworks show from the side of the castle, which, having looked it up now, I feel like it was amazing, but I really missed a lot not being able to see the front of the castle. But I don't say any of that to mean that it wasn't great. It was still amazing. The fireworks show was amazing. Seeing Tinkerbell come down that rope was terrifying. I wouldn't want that job to save my life. I ended up discovering that there's pin collection that happens at Disney, which I love pins. I love pins, and I ended up getting a little addicted, which I now have a new obsession because I love the like the metal pins, and just to see that there's like a entire like trading market or whatever for them, like woo. So that was really fun, finding like your favorite characters or maybe your favorite places and things. I also, one of our friends picked me up this first visit pin. As I mentioned, the cast members were just amazing. Like, they would ask how your first visit was and stuff if they saw you had the pin on. And their daughter, actually, it was her birthday weekend, and they would like wish her happy birthday every time she walked by, and it was just it really is magical. I also picked up this really pretty mug, which I don't know how well you'll be able to see. It is a tea glass. You can see it has Belle and the Beast on it, and the rose is actually the little tea steeper. My Disney ears, which I could get addicted to these too. There's so many cute designs, and these were restricted to the Adventureland, I believe, was the area in the park. So there was like certain ones that are restricted to little areas and things. Love those. Very cute. Have to find an excuse to wear them again because I absolutely love them. I also got 2 Christmas ornaments. One is of the genie from Aladdin. If you don't know, the genie is gotta be my favorite Disney character. He really just made that. Robin Williams specifically made that movie. Obviously holds a special place in my childhood heart, I guess. So I picked up that one, and then I picked up a globe with Cinderella's castle on top, I believe, that said 2021. I personally like to get ornaments to commemorate any sort of vacation that Todd and I take. I don't have those to show you. I got them shipped home because they were glass, and they were sort of big, and we got them kind of early on in the day, so it would have been a matter of somebody has to sit off the rides if we held on to the glass, which was kind of cool. Disney, if you tell them you can pay a little extra and they'll just ship whatever you find right to your house. So I'll post pictures of those when they do arrive. The next day, we went to Universal. Now, I'll preface this with, I do not think Universal is worth going to unless you're a Harry Potter fan. Maybe don't go to Disney first, because after going to Disney and seeing the magic and like how wonderful the staff and everything was at Disney, Universal is not gonna live up to that. It was overwhelmingly packed. The wait times on everything were tremendously long from the beginning. Yeah, so enough of the complaints. Once you get past that and actually get into Diagon Alley, and you see the Harry Potter employees, it's almost like a whole different world. Like, I could move right in, honestly. I tried butterbeer for the first time, which I am kind of glad I can't very easily access because I would probably drink it all the time. It was so good. We did try both frozen and cold. Both were very, very good. The frozen did kind of seem a bit sweeter, so if you don't like really sweet things, maybe pass that one up. We did get on a few rides for Harry Potter. Of course we rode the train. We did do that both directions, and you get a little bit different of experience going both directions. We did the Escape from Gringotts ride, which I don't normally like drops, and I think if it had been anything else I would have not been able to handle it, but that was like A+, amazing experience. We did the Ollivander's Wand experience, which, if you aren't familiar, you queue up and they pick one person out of the group to kind of pair with a wand, and they actually get to keep that wand. I will not complain about the kid who got picked and said he wishes he could have gotten a cooler wand. Me and Kayla, when we went to pick out our wands, actually there was a gentleman who worked there who was kind of doing a similar thing but without all the fancy lights. He just kind of talked to you about you and paired you with a wand that fit your personality. He paired me with this wand of Ivy here. When he was talking with me about it, he said, first of all, I'm picking up a little bit of a temper, which we don't have to talk about that. And he said, it's okay, I like to call it passion. And then he mentioned, you'll notice this is the only wand here where it's burnt at the tip, which I don't really know if you can tell in the lighting here, but it is darker at the tip, he said, because you will fight for your friends, which was kind of amazing, because yes, I will fight to the death for my friends, but not necessarily myself. So I thought that was really cool. And then he said, you seem like you probably like to have a little bling every now and again, maybe stuff that's a little fancy. And so I do have the little blinged out acorn at the end here, which is very cute. It was perfect. The whole experience was perfect. Based on his description, it was a good match. I would highly recommend if he was there, and honestly, that guy deserves a raise. Todd also picked out a pretty cool wand, and we got a Hermione replica, I believe, for my mother-in-law. We also picked up robes. Me and Kayla both got robes. Her in Ravenclaw, me in Hufflepuff, with my beautiful mug to match. This thing is freaking gorgeous. Like, I was very surprised. They're amazing quality, not something I normally would have gotten for myself, but I put it on and it was just correct. I had to have them, so here I am. I also picked up this adorable chocolate frog pin. It is actually scented to smell like chocolate, which when she told me that at the checkout line, because I obviously didn't just sniff the pin, so I never would have guessed that. Yeah, I was blown away to find that out. I also picked up this love potion necklace, which I guess the guy was correct on just how extra I like to be, because I mean, let's be real, the thing is a little extra, but it was just so cute. I saw it and I had to have it, and then when I discovered it actually came with a little display glass for the price, it was sold. Absolutely. So when I'm not wearing it, I can have it as a display piece. And I did also pick up a metal chocolate frog container. You can get them in paper, but I wanted this one so I could keep it. It just has a giant chocolate frog there, along with 5 wizard cards. It does have all the house leaders along with Dumbledore. I will treasure, not the actual chocolate frog, probably gonna eat that slowly but surely, but you know what I mean. I did bring home the ornament that we got from Harry Potter, which is just the train. So that was the haul from Harry Potter and from Disney so far. We did end up calling it a little bit earlier on Universal Day, just because we got through Harry Potter a little bit faster, and then it was very, 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 very sunny that day, and our feet were killing us. We weren't used to walking quite as much. Todd was a little more used to walking than the rest of us, but my feet were just killing me, and Blake's feet were killing him, so we did call it a little early, just relaxed for the rest of the night there. And then for our last day, we ended up spending a lot of time at the pool with our other friends, which if you go to Disney or any like resort for like a week, that's going to take a lot of walking. I highly recommend a pool day. It was absolutely amazing. Had a wonderful time spending time with them. The hardest goodbye ever was saying goodbye to the little birthday girl. But then we met up with EXO again to go back to Disney Springs, where I got the last thing I would end up getting besides the Dole Whip, which that stuff is addicting. I really get why people get stuck on it. The last ornament I would get, which was a Starbucks cup. I do collect these little Starbucks ornaments, not like religiously, but when I saw they had a Disney one though, I had to have it, so I did pick that up. And that was the last thing that we got before we left. It has been very bittersweet being home because I missed my girls so much, and they were so happy to see us. But saying goodbye to some of my best friends was very hard. It was overall amazing. I can't wait to do it again. My feet would say otherwise, but it honestly, if you have the chance, do it. I loved every minute of it. So that was it for my Disney trip. I did say that I had a big announcement as far as my stream and whatnot goes, I have finally found a job, which I will be starting this upcoming Monday, which does mean that unfortunately this stream will have to take a big cut. I will be streaming on less days and much later hours. I haven't figured out the exact set schedule I'm going to be running yet because I want to be ambitious and do every day still, but I feel like as somebody who's been kind of away from people for the past year, interacting with people again is probably going to be very exhausting, and I don't know that I will have the energy to stream every day. Probably looking at around a 3 days a week schedule, and it will be much later in the day, again back to how we used to be, but probably a little later. Next month will probably be an update on how it is to stream while working full-time and trying to create content. I think a lot of us who started streaming during the pandemic are kind of experiencing right now, so if you have any tips and tricks for streamers who are just getting back to work, leave them in the comments below. I don't want to harp on it forever because I am really sad. Like, obviously, I'm very grateful to have found a position finally, but I am gonna miss spending so much time with you guys. That is it for this week's update. Thank you for listening to me ramble about the magic of Disney and Harry Potter, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.